Well, howdy, hey. It's Sunday Funny, live.
Live at Sycamore Gallery. It's Sunday Funny. I promise you I will try to be funny with this. This is my first live stand-up thing. That is my live stand-up thing. And I appreciate my piano wingman there, my own, very own Paul. To my attempt at being Letterman, then a Steve Seberg. Very awesome. I don't have any kids. I have furry kids, I suppose. And I got proof that they're kids. There are 3 points that they're kids. But we're going to wait for the heckler. There we are. There are 3 points that they're actual kids. They will not come when you call their name. They'll shit anywhere. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. And the third obvious point, they cry when they're hungry. So yeah, I got 3 kids, and one of them is a very loose moral kid. I can't really blame her. She came from the bar. She was a surprise child from the bar. Some of you might be surprised children. Don't take offense if that's the case. So she did the okey doke with us about catching her too. She wanted to go from car to car, and me and this waitress laid on the ground, and then we caught her when she ran back into the shrubbery. And the reason she continued to do the okey doke is we could not tell if she was male or female, so Loki was appropriate. But apparently when she got out and wanted to go wild on the town, because we did not spare, she is tiny, we're like, you're too young, you're not going out yet. She escaped. She was gone for 2 days, and her date didn't go well. I think that instead of swiping on Tinder, she swiped Grindr, because Stash, who lives in our backyard now, he moved in like immediately. Stash now only gets hisses from her, and she actually sounded like a small black bear the other day. It's like, how did that come out of your tiny body? So, and Stash is having a bromance with Bebop, and so I'm proud of my gender fluid children there who are furry wearing demanders. They're my masters. I can't help you. There's 5 mantras for you though, if you're in the arts. All right, we're only going to take about 5 more minutes of your time with this, because I know it's painful, but you'll bear it. 5 mantras if you are going to be an artist. The first is, don't bitch slap, you'll break your hand. You need that for painting. The second, there are some people that have the, I can't clap, not you guys. You're obviously appreciators of the arts. You're sitting here suffering with me for my art. But they have the can't clap disease. I told my friend that he had this, and he's like, what is that? It's something you get when you don't have sex and catch the clap. And I'm like, no, you just can't bring your hands together. And he's like, well, it's vanity. Well, dude, it's the arts. I mean, of course it's going to be something about yourself. So my second mantra for you as an artist is vanity, humanity. Well, you just got to roll with it, kids. Number 3, my advice to thee as an artist is imagine everybody who talks to you as a character. I have started out at my house with 3 characters. I have Space Ghost, my one roommate who's hardly ever there. I have a squirrel from Donnie Darko who has made an appearance all the way here on Immorta, which is pretty awesome. And I have Simba. He's always getting into trouble, but he's cute, so we kind of try to guide him. But then my 4th roommate moved in, the very wise Alonzo Abel, and he took me out of animation land like Space Ghost and Simba to having the 4 Golden Girls live at my house. That's Sophia back there. So, if you need some advice, see Sophia. That's very nice. All right, number 4, you must prevail. You don't have bail. Take it from me, kids. And number 5, become, I dare you, in a world full of dogs, be a cat. That's that. Except for the infamous possum story. It goes with one of the paintings in there. All right, so there I was in the summer of '04 in the backyard of my friend's house, and what was a playhouse tool shed thing, and we strung it very bohemian-like, and I'm a big fan of the Beats, so I was like, oh, this will be like Allen Ginsberg hanging out in the back garden over in Berkeley, this will work out pretty well, and it did for a time, but as things will. I awoke one morning at 3 a.m. after I had brought home the 5th cat, and it was not my fault. It was the 5th cat. There was a kitten, and my friend's cats, who lived in the house, they were hanging out with me, so they weren't all mine. And I don't normally mind possum time. I grew up out in the country, and the hardest thing to do actually is just remind yourself, don't pet it. It looks really, really cute. Well, at 3 a.m, if you discover that a possum is opossuming between the head of your bed and the doorway to your exit, and not only that, it looks like it's spooked, it's had a moment. And in trying to catch the kitten, you're dancing around in the spooge. Oh my God. It's not a good meeting of wildlife. You're not gonna have a good reaction. So I went into the big house, and then later, my big, majestic roommate, he was 400 pounds, or maybe 6'5", and I'm not body shaming, I'm just giving you an image here. And he was a fan of samurai swords. So he tells me, yeah, I'll help you with your possum infestation. You lift the futon, and I'll stab the possum. Okay, no possums were hurt in telling me the story. I want to preface this so you don't have a heart attack there. So I lifted the bed. Naturally, the possum was possuming elsewhere, which is good, because what I had envisioned was that when I lifted the bed, the possum would run up his legs, since he was now blocking the doorway with the sword, and his swing was not good. I was going to stand over here. So the day went by, everything's fine, and I come back out for reclining time the next evening, and who should I meet? Any guesses? The possum, who had just lounged somewhere in the empty Airbnb. And this time I did not mind meeting the possum, because I was awake, and again, I had just had to go back to the fact that I really, really, really don't need to touch the possum. It's very cute. But I'm like also needing to extract it, because there are cats in the rafters, and there's this possum, and this is not going to work out for them. So I had a mound of things around, not being an artist hoarder, but packing up to go to my sister from another mistress house for the winter. I lied, I am an artist hoarder. I've got a lot of stuff. So I have all these books laying around. Naturally, there's a cat carrier. Imagine that. I've got 5 cats. There's a cat carrier on the dresser behind me. And I'm like, oh, great. I pick it up, and the lid falls off. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's some books. One of these books is going to fit this situation. And so I move the books, and there's the possum, and it's emulating the cutest stuffed animal, and I really had to hold back. I'm like, don't touch the possum. And the possum wakes up and helps me with that and goes, hey. And I reach over for a book, and what book is it? It is Salvador Dali. And I scoop him in there with the Salvador Dali book, really nudge him in there, and then I fling him into the kudzu English ivy collaboration that was covering most of the yard. Well, the next morning I was struck with a bit of concern that there might be a possum body and maybe a need for a funeral before I went to work. So I went out there to look, and I was hoping everything went fine with our little astronaut furry friend. I did not find a possum, but inside of the cat carrier there was, much to my surprise, a lost artifact from my photograph collection. It was a black and white 8x10 of Josephine Baker from Jazz Cleopatra grinning at me from the cat carrier that the possum flew in. I didn't put it in there. So, you know, it's magic. You see?
You guys are too.
Thank you. And we'll be with you with some more adventures. We're going to be doing some improvisational numbers here shortly. Please enjoy some wine. Have a mighty fine time looking at the art. Please visit the fine artists out front. Y'all give a hand of applause for our great hostess, Sylvia Cross. That's Sunday funny. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes there's stories too. I don't know. I'm like Garrison Keillor and Tom Waits crossed over some coffee.
Without so many lakes.
Without so many lakes. If you like that, it's all on YouTube on Boog Records, and you can come and see me, and I'll say, here's the link. See you later.